Alright, so we've got a McQuay SWP system. It is having trouble tripping on a low, let's see, go to alarms. It's been tripping on a low supply temp. And I was talking to the tech that originally came out here. Now it just tripped off because I've got this panel open. So it just shut down just a second ago. But regardless, I was talking to the tech and it sounded like they were having some weird issues, thinking it was a charge problem, but he was explaining it to me and something didn't sound right about the airflow. And sure enough, when I get here, on my duct static set point's 1 inch, I was doing 0.28 inches. I pulled my blower panel off, and sure enough, my vanes on the blower are completely closed. So right now, I think the actuator's on the other side. So what I need to do now is get that other panel open. Now I'm in a phase of testing the actuator to see which is the problem. Is it the actuator that's causing the issue, or is it the relays causing a problem? Are the relays getting a signal in the first place? What's going on? Is this causing this? Alright, so I see we got the Belimo here. I don't see anything obvious with the linkages. I do see the wiring is spliced up here. So one of those, let's see. Okay, so this is a potentiometer. This is our actual positioning. Okay. So one of these is just a reference. Should be this one here is our reference. This one here looks like our main signal. And that froze up. Alright, well, let's go through this. Figure it out. So this is my clutch. So the linkages, nothing's gonna bind. So that's not the problem. So, and all this is a floating point actuator. So that means that we just fire 24 volts to either clockwise or counterclockwise to open or close accordingly. That's all it's doing. It's no more complicated than that. So what I want to do is I'm going to go jump out the relay and see if we get any kind of movement. Alright, so it is confirmed. These are my power wires controlling the actuator for the Vane controls. And what happened is the gears on the actuator base down here, when I get to 20% open, the gears are stripped out on that actuator, and so they won't go past that. And as you saw, I took my hand and I could bump it, and it would start to rotate, and then it would get to about 50%, and they're stripped out again at 50%. So we got approval. I'm going to change that actuator out, and then we'll re-diagnose the system, make sure the charge, everything still checks out, and we'll move forward from there. Alright, so we got a new actuator. We'll get it on. We'll take this potentiometer attachment and we'll move it over to the new actuator assembly. It's still good. We can reuse it. We'll get it all wired back up. We'll be good to go. Okay, so to set this, what we're going to do, we're going to drive the vane assembly all the way closed, which it is now. We're going to rotate the actuator itself all the way to a closed position. Which is that way, because we push out, we pull, so we push, and we need to rotate clockwise. We want this fully clockwise rotated, which means we also want this shaft fully clockwise. Rotate it clockwise. I'm gonna go double check that back side because I want to make sure that I got it set right. Okay, so I have confirmed that the back side is set correctly. Right there in the sweet spot. So what we're going to do, from here we're going to lock the actuator down. It's not rocket science or nothing, just we want them to be relatively the same. And we're going to clip our, so this just has two little pegs that fit into these little slots here. And that's where we're gonna put this back on, and then it just clips onto the actuator. So I'm gonna make this simple, and it's literally just gonna be wire for wire. Okay. Let's get everything out of there and turn it back on. We should be good to go. Alright, so we got it back online, and there is still a charge issue, but you know, it's not a, the main issue that they were having was the static. So we can scroll down now and so we're doing 0.76. This floor is hot. It's got to catch up. Those vanes are at maximum open, so this will slowly creep up as the floor pulls down. But you know, it's still staging on circuits. We're only at stage 2. It'll go into stage 3 here in a moment. But regardless, we're gonna have to. There goes 3 now. You can see at least on circuit 1 here. We got bubbles in the sight glass, and that's a low charge. So we're gonna leak search this circuit, and we'll check all the others while we're at it, and we'll get all these issues addressed separately. But the primary issue as to why it was having the main non-cooling problem was the airflow. But we still have a charge problem even with that, so we'll get them fixed up.